Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for all the centers out there that monitor the community guidelines, we always tell you at the New Health Conversation that we absolutely stay within the community guidelines because we only quote from medical studies. We make no opinions, we make no claims, and everything is available in the public domain. So everything we share with the audiences, they can go and see it on their own. We don't have to make up anything. I have written 4 best-selling books to some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on public broadcasting, 1,500 live lectures around the world in hospitals, universities, and towns, and appeared on 4 of the biggest daytime shows in America. I pride myself and our team, we pride ourselves on bringing real medical proof, only medical proof. We don't give opinions. So we always like you to know that, to let you know that we stay within the community guidelines always. Well, hello and welcome everybody. I see Annie Adams, I see Linda, I see Tony, I see User. So again, imagine losing 20 to 40 pounds in 30 days safely, no crash diets involved. It's a revolutionary detox. It's backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. This is going to change the world. The researchers who created this, it wasn't us, are considered the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. And they finally, after 100 studies over 40 years, 4 decades, they solved the dilemma as to obesity and overweight. One of the things we're going to tell you right away, if you're on any diet, the evidence is clear now. 2/3 of you on whatever diet you're on are going to weigh more than when you started. That's not an opinion on our part. That's study after study. We've even got people over here like Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. The most destructive thing you could ever do is think you're going on a diet by counting calories. There's a couple of huge reasons that doesn't work. Number one, does anyone know the medical definition of a calorie? I didn't 24 years ago. So I'd love for anybody to put in the chat if you know what a calorie is. Number two, the bigger problem is this. The body has no idea what a calorie is. The body doesn't count calories. Why you're counting calories is crazy. And I see people coming on and they jump off before they even can find out, is this real? Is it fake? Are we lying to you? We're not lying to you. There's nothing on here that's not true. As a matter of fact, on the website, as you see proof at the New Health Conversation, it's a free medical website to go to, and they published peer-reviewed human trial studies in the biggest medical journals in the world for weight loss are in there. There is no other diet you're following. There is no other influencer that can show you peer-reviewed human trial studies. If there was, I'd love for anybody to put it in the chat. This is open, it's live, it's not pre-recorded, it's not AI. It's not an infomercial. This is a medical podcast. We try and do 3 or 4 of these a day to educate people because so many of you are so desperate to lose weight. You're going down these paths where now they're saying, listen to this, everyone. Johns Hopkins Medical School, their word says obesity apocalypse in 4 years. 86% of you will be overweight or obese in 4 years. Do any of you think that sounds like diets are working? Don't get mad at me. We're just scientists. We're just bringing you you lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. Just fast and be dedicated. No, that doesn't work. You're full of it. You don't have one shred of evidence to back that up. You have no proof behind what you're saying. Your anecdotal story means 0 in the medical world. The only thing that matters, okay, well, let's try this on for size. How about 40 pounds in a month? Took you 2 weeks to lose 15 pounds. That's a complete and utter, it's not even a comparison. It's like it's a joke. Are you kidding me? I mean, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but there's no medical proof behind what you're telling me. Your anecdotal story means 0 in the medical world. We're researchers. We've been doing this 23 years. We work with the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. I'm happy for you. That sounds good. But no, it's not just fast and be dedicated. That's a bunch of crap. It doesn't work. So for the rest of you, look at this. Look at these 60 pounds in 3 months. 60 pounds in 3 months. That's an average of 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. It's absolutely, this is revolutionary. And the problem with any diet, it doesn't remove any toxins from the body. We're all storing chemicals in our fat cells, whether you know it or not. We're living in an unbelievably toxic world. That's why this is a detox. That's why this is not a diet. And counting calories is dead. It's over. Study after study. Here's even Medicare. Listen to this, everyone. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The researchers at Medicare reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or human benefits, or health benefits. This, you have to understand, it's published in the biggest medical journals in the world. Now, why is that such a big deal? Because when you get published, you've gone through basically the matrix. It's been analyzed by the top medical doctors and researchers in the world. Not me, I didn't invent it. All we're doing is we're sharing the medical proof with you. And if you go to the website right there, you can see it, visit the New Health Conversation, you'll see the actual medical proof. Now let's come back and look at this gentleman here. He's 65 years old. He lost 40 pounds in a month. That's averaging over 10 pounds a week. He's not the only one. Then look at Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in a month. Now he's a younger guy, but look at their medical results. A1C from 7.9 to 6.2, cholesterol 120 to 59 in 30 days. And then you look at someone like Ken, 34 pounds in 29 days. Look at how much he shrank. That's because this is a detox. That's because they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proving this is removing chemicals from the body. So let's come back for just a moment and what did the researchers do? What's so different about this, okay? Number one, what they did, they had determined, they did 100 studies, thousands of people over 40 years. Not us, we're just reporting the news, right? What they did, they figured out that diets just don't work. They don't work long term. I don't care, you can lose weight, whether it's a fast, whether it's keto, paleo, Mediterranean, you lose it initially. But there's never been a diet studied where people kept weight off long term. Here's another big study proving it. Why you shouldn't count calories. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict their calories gain back more weight than they lost. This is medical proof. This isn't me giving some opinion. So it doesn't matter. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Look at her stomach on day 1. Look at her stomach on day 30. That's without any exercise at all. That's the result of detox. Because in case you didn't know it, we're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals. As those enter the body to protect us takes the chemical and stuffs it inside what's called our visceral fat. Our visceral fat is the fat around our organs. Watch your streams. I'm cracking up when I see you, Mama, gonna back it up. I don't have any idea what you're talking about, but that's fine. I'm glad you're having a good afternoon. Go watch some football. There's a lot of football on this afternoon. But for the rest of you that are really serious about how, everybody's saying how. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. So what the researchers did, keep in mind, everyone, this is published in the 10 biggest medical journals in the world, meaning it's real, it's backed up by science, and it's safe, okay? So what the researchers said was, we are going to come up with a system completely devoid of counting calories. There is no counting calories with this at all. So what they did, they said, we're going to find foods where we can give you less food, but find foods with high levels of nutrition, because that's the only thing your body cares about. The rest of it's all nonsense, right? So they picked the foods. They put together first a grocery list that you would take to your grocery store, right? 23 years of nothing. I'm not quite sure what that means. So Tony, I'm explaining to you right now what they did. So they picked the foods, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. And they gave you, instead of giving you calorie counts, they gave you serving sizes. So you literally go to the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But you get serving sizes, only 30%. So whatever you spent last month on food, you only spend 30% this month on these foods from your grocery store. What about the other 70%? The other 70% that you would buy, you buy nothing from us. We have nothing to sell. The researchers have nothing to sell. You're either buying from there's no products. You're buying food, okay? So 30% from your grocery store, the other 70% comes from these other researchers who've gone around the world. They physically had gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. Then they developed a new way of eating that was so advanced, the U.S. Patent Office actually granted them a registered trademark for this new way of eating. So here's what they did. 5 out of 7 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world that you can't buy at your grocery store, right? That was breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. So 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half to 2 hours. And what did they do? Well, first of all, the diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. As a matter of fact, in a month's time, the need for insulin in the diabetics, it's proven medically and shown in the studies, came down 41% in a month. No diet or fast or anything has ever touched these numbers. They also did blood analysis, stool analysis, fat and muscle analysis, and proved that this was removing chemicals from the body. It's in the studies. You understand, it's not something we're making up. No diet has ever removed a gram of toxin from the body. Never. The other thing that they measured for the first time in history, remember, they'd done 40 years of research, 100 studies on fasting, on water fasting, on keto, paleo, all these diets. Everything I'm sharing with you had never been seen before in that 40 years of research. Not by me, by them. One of the things they other measured that came down was inflammation, which every one of us suffer from. It's the underlying cause of every disease out there. It came down 25% in a month. Hunger came down 40% in a month. People's blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all came down dramatically in a month. Most women on this lose a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise. Men lose 2 to 4 inches off their waist in a month. What's amazing is people keep jumping off when this could change your life. What are you doing? Do you not think it's real? Do you think we're making it up? You think any diet's ever produced anything like this? Because it hasn't. They had 40 years of research. They looked at all these factors over 40 years. They never saw anything like this. And the big part about this is maintenance. This picture is 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. You think there's any diet like this on the planet? This is not a diet. This is a health system. It's based on a nutritional technology. This new way of eating, they tried it with regular food, organic, they tried fat. Never anything has ever produced anything like this. And now, one of the studies, for example, was published in Nature Communications. It's the #1 medical journal in the world. The title of the study had nothing to do with weight loss. It was gut microbiome remodeling and metabolic profile improves in response to protein pacing and intermittent nutritional fasting. No one's ever seen these results before. I understand people, they want to take me on, they want to argue with me, they want to give me opinions. That doesn't mean anything. Science doesn't give a damn about your opinion, my opinion. The science just is. There is no other diet on planet Earth that's ever produced anything like this. And now the researchers are writing summaries, and they're talking about, well, let me give you an example. Here's the Journal of the American Medical Association. This was a 12-month study. The title was Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Adults. You can all go look it up. It's in the public domain. After 12 months, and they looked at 48 different trials, 7,286 people in a year. And they named all the major diets, keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, etc. What they found in a year's time, people lost 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what they were losing was lean muscle mass. She lost 21 pounds in a month, lost no water weight, and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. That's why you should be interested in this. That's why it's such a tragedy when people, they dismiss it out of hand. They look at it and say, oh, it's not real. Or look, imagine losing 20 to 40 pounds in 30 days. Okay, well, look, here's Kristen. There's 20 pounds in 30 days, and here's Curtis, 40 pounds in 30 days, and Andy, 45 pounds in 30 days, and Christopher, 43 pounds in 30 days. But there's many more examples. Look at this wonderful lady, 200 pounds in a year, and she's kept it off. Where's the loose skin, everybody? No surgery. Look at that. What do you all, anybody, please comment. Is it the same woman? Are we faking you out? Because if you think we're lying to you or making things up, you're on the wrong podcast. Go Go see someone else. Go see these other influencers that are giving you nothing but lip service without one shred of medical evidence. If fasting worked, if any of these things worked, they'd have $1 trillion company. From 1995 to 2025, the obesity rates in the United States have doubled. Go to Barnes & Noble, look at how many diets we have. Again, if any of them worked, they'd have $1 trillion company. Ask yourself, why is it that everybody you're following, you can't show me anybody that has peer-reviewed human trial studies, and yet the website, visit the New Health Conversation. I'm going to show you right now. You can go to Google, type in the New Health Conversation. There it is, right there. It'll take you to the link. The reason I want to show it, there's nothing to buy on that. Look, there's the New Health Conversation. Up comes the website. There's nothing to buy. The only thing there is the medical proof, including number one, an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. They've worked with Navy SEALs and Green Berets and Olympians and powerlifters and marathoners and triathletes. These are the top people in the world, not me. None of it's my opinion. People always want to take me on. None of it's my research. So you're taking on science. You're taking on the fact that all of this has been scrutinized by the top researchers in the world. That's what happens when you get how come none of the diets you're following have any, let alone 10, even one peer-reviewed human trial study? Who would it be? Show me. Please explain it to me. So Tony and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, does this all make sense? Do you understand? And you all can go to that website, and then it's free coaching. If you go to the website, we will not contact you. Please understand that. Why would we need to contact you? This is the medical proof. And what's so sad is the number of people who come on and jump off in like 3 seconds. And yet they think their diet somehow, what they're doing, they're living in dreamland. You've got to understand there's no diet ever analyzed where people lost weight and kept it off. And 2/3 gained more weight than they lost on all these diets. That's why these researchers created this. So Tony, does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please put in the comment. Do you understand? You can go to the website and see the medical proof for free, and you get a free coach if you want. We will not contact you. That's how there's no reason. Why would we need to contact you? You get the medical proof. And if that doesn't convince you, there's nothing we can say. It's not our research. But if you do, get a free coach. The coaches have done it. They've been trained to help you, and they all volunteer their time. Coaching is 100% free. Who else is offering that to you? Who? We don't sell you anything. There's no products. This is based on food and a new way of eating, a new way of consuming food. And it's not a diet. It's a detox. And in case you all don't know, we're living in an unbelievably toxic world. As a matter of fact, we all, including me, suffer from this medical syndrome called TDOS. You all have it. The T stands for the toxic chemicals you're storing in your fat cells, driven because of the lack of nutrition in our food, overweight, and stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. Peter Greenlaw, who's that? Oh, that's me. I did discover it. I'm not just some guy up here just yakking. I've written 4 best-selling books with some of the top medical doctors in the world. I've done 20 shows on public broadcasting, over 1,500 live lectures around the world in hospitals and towns and universities. I spoke at Autism One 2 years in a row, the biggest autism conference in the world. So don't think I'm just some person up here just talking. I'm like a health coach, or what does that even mean? And even if they're a health coach, what are they presenting to you? They're telling you to do things without any medical proof behind it. Why would you listen to that? I don't want you to believe me. I don't want you to listen to me. But you believe in science. If you believe in science, there it is. The New Health Conversation. It's free for you to see that. Jessica, you got it. So Jessica, did you hear? And Jess, do you understand? That website is for all of you. It's a gift to the world. I've written 4 best. There's no books on that website. We're not selling you books. We're making you aware of something that could change your life or the lives of people around you. Are you all not excited about this possibility? And it's absolutely free to go to that website and see the medical proof, and then you get a coach for free? We all got coached. We're scientists. We're researchers. But it's not we didn't invent this. We didn't. Somebody else did. Thank gosh. They spent 40 years on 100 studies, thousands and thousands of people. They never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off long term. This is the possibility you all have. So if people like, please tap on the screen if you like the content. Let's get a lot of likes. Who else would like to ask me a question, or what would invite Haley Mom? I tried to invite you earlier today and you didn't click to come on, Haley Mom. The problem is, as soon as I see it up there, then it says you ignored or you didn't accept the invitation. It's not that I'm not letting you in. But you have to click that you accept. The live creator declined the invite. It's crazy. People come on I'm happy to share this podcast with other people. The only thing is, though, if you're going to come on, unless you have peer-reviewed human trial studies, then we're not going to have much of a discussion. Don't come on and give me your opinion, because my opinions don't matter. I've been doing this for 23 years. For 22 of my 23 years, despite 4 best-selling books of some of the top medical doctors in the world, discovering a medical syndrome, 1,500 lectures around the world, it meant 0 in the medical world, as it should. Why? Because there were no published peer-reviewed human trial studies proving that what we were talking about was safe and it was real and it was effective. No. Allie simply said hi. Hi, Allie. So my point is, you all have this unbelievable opportunity to change your lives. This is not a diet. It's a health system. You don't believe me? Look at this, everyone. Allie, look at this. Curtis, 65 years old, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. Least important part of his story. Look at his lab work. His A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides were 242. They dropped to 124 in a month. And then Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in 30 days. A1C 7.9 to 6.2. Look at his LDL, 120 to 59 in 30 days. There's nothing, this is not a diet. Do you care about your health? Isn't your health your wealth? But you're following these influences. They're nice people. I'm not going to disparage anybody. But we're presenting you medical proof. They're presenting you opinions. Which one do you want to entrust your own health to moving forward in your life? She lost 21, that's 5 pounds a week with no exercise. And they measured, she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. Yeah, well, this is, oh my gosh, Allie, you need to do this. We've had amazing results with PCO. Look at his, talk about A1C. Look at this, look at his A1C. Allie, can you see that? Went from 8.4 to 6.4 in a month. He was on glucophage, metformin, or some other drug. They had to cut his meds by 50% in a month because his A1C dropped so much he was over-medicated. Oh my, by the way, Allie, this was invented by a diabetic chemist 25 years ago, by a diabetic. Yeah, amazing. And then look at Andy, a younger guy, but look at 45, 60, but look at his A1C, 7.9 to 6.2. But also back to Curtis, look at his triglycerides, which you need to be concerned about. 242 to 124 in a month. Are you kidding me? Has anyone ever seen anything like this? Allie, do you see the website to go to? Let's see if I can type it in for you. Tell me if you can read this, the New Health Conversation. Hold on. It didn't show up. Let's see. So Allie, can you see this? Can you see the Google on there? It's the New Health Conversation is the free medical website to go to. You type in the New Health Conversation. Yes, I see. I took a screenshot and we'll go on to it. Okay. Now, Allie, it's really important when you fill out once you see all the medical proof, when you fill out the questionnaire, make sure you put in there that you have PCOS and you have insulin resistance, okay? Because we want to line you up we have coaches they've done that. All our coaches, they coach for free because someone coached them or coached their sister or their brother or their cousin. So we're absolutely equipped to handle that, but we need to know up front, so I direct you to the right person that's got familiar with all that. Okay, does that make sense? Yes, I see it. Okay, good. But all the medical proof, Allie, is there. I mean, I want you to be guardedly optimistic. But again, I believe when you go and see the medical proof, You won't be able, you're going to want to get a coach like yesterday. I tried to type it in, but you took the screenshot. Why didn't it go? Let me just see here. Ah, there it is. See it now, Allie? There you go. But I know you already took a screenshot. For all of you, it's the New Health Conversation. Free medical website. We will, and Allie, we're not going to contact you if you go there. You have to scroll down and request a free coach, and it'll ask you, do you have any, you want to make any comments about weight or height or PCOS or whatever. You got it? Great. I'm really, there it is. Okay, great. But who else would like to ask me a question? We got lots of people on here, but can we get some more taps on the screen if you like the content? We're the only people giving you medical proof. This is the secret to weight loss and health. More importantly, health. It's not a weight loss program. It's a detox. It's a health system. I mean, it's insane what we see. I mean, listen to this, Allie. The need for insulin, which is part of your insulin resistance. The need for insulin on this came down 41% in 30 days. Did you hear what I just said, Allie? 41% reduction in the need for, the diabetics were measuring, right? They're measuring how much insulin do I need? That's why the medical doctors had to cut their meds across the board, all the diabetics, by 50%. 50% in 30 days. Get really excited. We're changing the world. We really are. This is not some diet. We're not some people, there's nice people. I see them there I'm a health coach, I'm a weight loss coach. There's medical doctors, there's chiropractors, dietitians, nutritionists, fitness people. They don't have one shred of evidence, Allie. None, zero. And you wonder why you're having trouble? You don't have the right solution. And you got to understand the solution I'm talking about, Allie. It's published in 10 peer-reviewed of the biggest medical journals in the world. You'll see them on their website. There's a link, you click on it, it'll take you to the medical studies. We're not hiding anything. We're here to support you. You really want to change your life? You really want to make an impact? This is it. This is it. Now, let's see what else. So it's an eating plan or supplement. No supplements, no, it's food. And it's more than an eating plan. I'm going to explain it to everybody again because everybody wants to know. So what they did, Allie, was this. The researchers who invented this, not us, we had nothing to do with that. They had done 100 studies, Allie, over 40 years, thousands of people on every kind of diet you could ever name. Keto, paleo, Mediterranean fasting, time-restricted eating, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, et cetera, et cetera. What they determined was that all diets fail because of the complete fake approach called counting calories. The body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. All a diet is at the end of the day, if you really realize, it's you're lowering the amount of food you're consuming. At the same time, you're lowering the amount of nutrition. The problem is when your brain senses there's not enough nutrition, which it's nutrition, not calories, that run the brain, the heart, the kidney, the pancreas, all our organs, right? When you go on a diet and lower the amount of food and lower the amount of nutrition, the brain immediately goes in starvation mode and uses your muscles for fuel. That's why 25 to 40% of the pounds that you may have lost or will lose on any diet, Allie, or anybody else listening to me is your lean muscle mass. The minute your body starts to use lean muscle, the brain has no choice. It slows down your metabolism. That's why people plateau in these diets. That's why they gain 2/3 way more than when they started, okay? So the researchers said, we need to do something. We're not going to let you count calories. So Allie, you're not going to count calories on this, okay? They're going to give you serving sizes and specific foods, 30% of what you would buy, Allie, and you're going to get a grocery list. You take it to your grocery store, organic food. So whatever you spent last month, figure 30% of those dollars you're going to buy from your grocery store from a list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But serving sizes, not calorie counting, okay? The other 70%, and here's what makes it work. The other 70% come from other researchers who for 20 years, Allie, had gone around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food, including nutrients that come from these blue zones where people live and be 100 years old. You can't buy that at your grocery store, okay? So 30% you're going to buy from the grocery store, 70% from these exotic foods. Then they invented, Allie, a new way of eating. that they got a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office called protein pacing. Allie, there's no products to buy. There are no supplements, magic elixirs, shots, nothing. No, it's food. But the other key was this new way of eating based on the nutritional amount in these food groups. So they let her have 4 meals a day. She started with, the researchers call these exotic foods around the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. There's so much nutrition, Allie, unless you're in doctor's care for low iron or low calcium, you don't need any supplements at all. Forget, no more supplements, okay? So 5 days a week, they started with what they call the world's most perfect meal, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal. Now, it's not like 2 meals or skip a meal. No, it doesn't work. They did 4 meals a day. She did 4 meals a day. Last meal being the world's most perfect meal. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, Allie, only these exotic or these world's most perfect meals. But this time they let her eat 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. All the diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes, never seen before. But here's the big thing that they did. They did the most comprehensive, they didn't just concentrate on what the number was on the scale. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, enzymes, liver enzymes, etc. This massive amount of data research. Analysis medically, right? What they found was this is helping the body remove chemicals from our fat cells. Look at her stomach on day 1, Allie, day 1, you can see my head and her hips, and then look at day 30. That's with no exercise allowed. They actually wore Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. I know it sounds too, but you got to understand, we have the medical proof to back up everything I'm saying. So what else? She lost no water weight. The diet, I explained to you before, Allie, the need for insulin came down 41% in a month. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all came down dramatically in a month. People's hunger came down 40% in a month. In 10 days, almost everybody's cravings were gone. See, Allie, you're not hungry for calories. Your body only hungers for one thing, nutrition. The whole premise of dieting is screwed up because they don't take into account when you reduce the quantity of food and ignore that you've got to somehow find foods with these high levels of nutrition. They're out there. The researchers found it and proved it and published the studies. She's not the only one. My God, look at Julie. Look at that. How about 35 pounds in 37 days, Amy? What do you think about that, Allie? Sorry, Allie. Look at that. Where's the loose skin? Look at the body transformation. And then my friend's daughter, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. And she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her body. There are people that accuse me of, oh, it's a different woman. No, it's not. We don't do that kind of nonsense. And then this man is 65 years old, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. How crazy is that? But again, Allie, look at his A1C, 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides, 242 to 124. This is not a diet, it's a health system. First thing it is, it's a detox. But they have the medical proof. Now, in case you didn't know, Allie and everybody else, you all suffer from this new medical syndrome. It's called TDOS. The T is for the toxic chemicals we're storing in our fat cells, driven by the lack of nutrition in our body, overweight, and stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. Peter Greenlaw discovered it. Oh, that's me. I forgot. I did discover it. So I'm not just some guy. I'm not just up here, flapping my lips. I've written 4 best-selling books of some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I have been featured on 20 shows on PBS and over 1,500 live lectures around the world. I'm not trying to impress you, but I want to impress upon you. Everything I'm sharing with you is backed by medical science. Oh, okay. Excited about the free coaching and looking forward to transforming my health and body. Great, Archangel. Shobi, hi. I'm interested in learning more about your program, S. Shobi. Did you hear me explain it or not? Because I'll go over it again. I was explaining to this nice lady over here, Allie, who's got some real concerns from a health perspective. The reason to do this is the weight loss is like the least important part. The key, look, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I'm going to show you right now a husband and wife. Wait till you see this, everybody. They each lost over 60 pounds in 5 months. They've kept it off for 2.5 years. Look at those before and afters. Now you can think it's photoshopped. It's not. But the thing I want to impress upon you, they've kept it off for 2.5 years. Look at that. She lost 62 pounds. He lost 65 pounds in 5 months. You know, you hear, oh, women can't lose weight as fast as men. On this, they lose about the same rates. Look at this wonderful lady here, everybody. 200 pounds in a year. With no loose skin, no exercise. Does this excite all of you? Shobel and Arch and all of you that are on here. Sylvia, sweetie baby, any of you, what do you think about that? Please put it in the chat for me. This is a miracle. Where's the loose skin, everybody? No loose skin. I mean, it's just so, yeah, a pound a day, exactly. She looks amazing. But then they're done, yeah, so eating plant, no. So you understand, Allie, it's food. It has nothing, there's no supplements unless you're on a doctor's prescription for low iron or low calcium. Other than that, you don't need any supplements. This food supplies, see, food was intended to supply the nutrition we needed to be alive, not a capsule made in some laboratory. Because of the deficiency in the food, sadly, in all the regions of the world. That's why these exotic regions in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, no herbicides, no pesticides, no chemicals. They rotate the soil. Is it that hard to believe that something like this exists, everybody? You have an incredible change to change your entire lives. And the thing I want to impress upon you, Shobi, see above her picture there? Visit the New Health Conversation. So what you all can do is go to Google, type in the New Health Conversation. It's going to take you to the website in a minute. We won't contact you if you go there. I promise my kids' lives, my grandparents. There it is, the link. Click the New Health Conversation. There's the website. There's nothing to buy on that website except medical proof, including #1 an exclusive podcast with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world. He and his team created this. You'll hear him say, they will never recommend to a patient ever again a traditional diet. They did 40 years of research, 100 studies, looked at every diet out there. No one ever lost weight and kept it off, and 2/3 of people gained more weight than they lost. But that's what most of you are doing. So Shobel, did you hear me explain what they did? Because I'm happy to repeat it again because we keep getting new people on here all the time. Or Sylvia or Sweetie Baby. Would you like me to explain to you exactly what's involved? Although there's a much deeper explanation with before and after pictures or slides showing you what they actually consume, the foods and all that kind of stuff. The coaching's all free, by the way. There's no charge for coaching. Not for the initial consultation, not for the coaching, not for teaching you how to maintain. She's maintained that weight now for 8 or 9 years. All the pictures I showed you so far have all retained their weight loss for 8 or 9. And they lost no water weight. And despite losing 21 pounds in a month, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. Now, when people want to exercise, it really can get crazy. None of the pictures I've showed you so far like this, I'll show you Ken here. 34 pounds in 29 days. That's more than a pound a day. Look at the change in his body, even his face and his. Now you can think it's Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. How excited would you be if you could lose 34 pounds in 29 days with no exercise and gain lean muscle and shrink your body? So Shobi Lau. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing your name and I apologize in advance. Shobi Lau. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but do you want me to go over how they're doing this, everybody? Please, someone put it in the chat. And we only have 125 likes. Really, can we get some taps on that screen? This is life-changing information. Who else would like to ask me how they did it? Are you curious? Are you curious how you can imagine losing 20 to 40 pounds in 30 days safely, not a crash diet, backed in 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies published in the biggest medical. Oh, I got one other thing I want to show everybody. This is the June 9th issue 2025 of Women's World magazine, the #1 women's magazine in the world. The 2 women on there, the daughter and the mom. The daughter is a nurse. She's 57 years old. She lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom, who's going to be 81 this October 2025, lost 104 pounds in a year. They both have kept it off. Their 3-year anniversary was 2 days ago. So they've kept their weight off now for 3 years. And look at the title, Over 50 Protein Miracle. Women's World, you can't advertise to get on here. The reason that they did it was because this is the only protocol in the world with peer-reviewed medical studies proving that it's safe and it's real. They're not going to risk their reputation by putting something in the And then they wrote a 2-page article inside the magazine. Let me find it here real quick. Here it is. Look at that, everybody. New protein miracle diet. There's the mom and the daughter. You probably can't see it down in the corner about how big they were, but they were big. This is real, everybody. This isn't fake. The number one reason to do this is for your health. The weight loss is just the throw-in. And the maintenance, the ability to be able to keep the weight off for the rest of your life, doesn't that interest all of you? And again, Shobiel, I'm asking you, did you hear when I explained how you do this? I know we have new people on here, so I'm going to explain it to you anyway. Okay, so this was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. That's not me or my team. But these researchers are rated the top weight loss researchers in the world. Over 100 studies, human beings, not mice, rats, monkeys, chimpanzees, no, human beings, over 40 years, 4 decades. And what they concluded after all that time was that no diet they ever measured were people able to keep the weight off once they lost it. And 2/3 ended up weighing more than what they did when they started. So when they started this approach, this brand new approach called R2M, which actually stands for Race to Maintenance, just so you understand what R2M stands for, they said, we are going to create something where there's no calorie counting, none, zero. The human body has no idea. Do you understand? The human body has no idea what a calorie is. You're counting calories, only the body's not counting calories. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. It could care less about calories. You got it? So what they did, they determined that, well, I'm interested in learning more about that. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm explaining it to you right now. So what they said, we're going to find foods where we can find foods where you have less quantity of food, but the foods have much higher amounts of nutrition. Because that's the only thing your body cares about, the only thing your body craves. The only time you ever become hungry, it's for nutrition, not for calories. So right away, that's something to blow up all your belief systems, right? So they put together, first they started with a food list that you would buy from your grocery store. So whatever you spent last month in dollars, take 30% of those dollars or less, and you're going to buy the foods you're going to consume on this for a month. You're going to get proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, but instead of calorie amounts, they give you serving sizes. Very important. But they did it for us. They calculated, all right, if you're going to do protein, how many ounces? If you're going to do vegetables, is a third or half a cup, depending on what the vegetable is. It's all laid out. You don't have to do anything. You get a list you take to the grocery store free, okay? The other 70% of what you would spend, remember, you took your grocery bill for last month, 30% you're going to spend at the grocery store, 70% from these other researchers who'd gone around the world for 20 years to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. They then had the foods you were going to eat. 30% from your grocery store and 70% from these exotic foods, what the researchers called the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. There's so much nutrition in these foods that they say, unless you're on a doctor's care for low iron or low calcium, you don't need any supplements at all. Once you go on this, you need no more supplements ever, okay? So then they invented a new way of eating. They actually got a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, of a new way of eating called protein pacing. So over the course of 7 days, 5 of the days, you're going to have 4 meals a day. You start with the world's most perfect meals, these exotic food ingredients from around the world, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, the world's most perfect meal. It's 4 meals, everybody. It's not 3 or 2 or 1. No, don't try and outfigure it. They have the medical proof. They tried doing like 2 meals a day, like skip breakfast and do lunch and dinner. Then they had them do breakfast, skip lunch, and do dinner. Didn't work. It was the pacing. It was the laying out of the nutrition over, let's say, 10, 12 hours, okay? Then 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store at all, only these world's most perfect meals. This time she ate 8 times a day. Yes, she was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. The diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. But the biggest thing about this, they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis. This is not a diet. You know what it is, everybody? A detox. And they proved it by doing blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving that this was helping the body purge the chemicals out of your fat cells. See, whether you know it or not, every adult on this, you've got about 1,000 chemicals right now stored inside what's called your visceral fat. Your visceral fat, that's the fat around your organs. It's not up for debate. We know it to be true. As we're ingesting these chemicals in water, air, and food, the body, to protect us, takes the chemical and stuffs it. That's why you complain not just about how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you have on your body. Now, I'm going to clear up some other thing for you too. These people telling you that you burn fat, like on intermittent fasting or on calorie-restricted diets or exercise, is a total lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and the only thing that happens with fat cells, they expand or contract. Thank goodness on this, as you begin to remove the chemicals from your body, your fat cells shrink. Look at her waist and hips, everybody, on day 1, and then look at her hips on day 30 with no exercise. She, as a matter of fact, she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise. The second thing that they saw in the studies was that inflammation, which plagues all of us, the underlying cause of every disease out there, according to the medical world, it came down 25% in a month. No diet had ever registered either removing chemicals from the body or lowering inflammation. The need for insulin in the diabetics came down 41% in 30 days. Again, never seen. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down. Now, what you all need to understand, why is that so important? And I'll get to maintenance here in just a moment. 92.3% of you, according to the Center for Disease Control, are metabolically unhealthy. It's called metabolic dysfunction. What does it mean? It means if you have 3 of 5 factors, out of 5 factors, if you have 3, you're considered metabolically unhealthy. If you're overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. Now, the fact you're on a drug to control it, you still have the condition. You'd still be considered metabolically unhealthy. The sad part is now that back in 1964, metabolic dysfunction pretty much didn't even exist. Right now, out of $4.5 trillion we're spending on health care, 1.5 trillion is metabolic dysfunction, which is a 100% lifestyle disease. Yes. The reason I'm telling you this is in the studies in 30 days, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically, and of course weight, in just 30 days. The main reason to do this is to improve your health potential. Period. It's not up for debate. That's what's going on. The reason to do this is by detoxifying your body and being able to assist the body in making you healthier. That's the reason to do it. And then being able to maintain your weight loss, if that makes sense. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 weeks. Isn't that amazing, everyone? Just amazing. So does that make sense to everyone? Who else would like to ask me a question? I'm very, very happy to hear any of the questions that might be out there. So who else would like to ask me a question? Anybody? We've been on now for we're still stuck at 168 likes. Really? I mean, if you don't like the content, I guess you're on the wrong website or the wrong podcast. But we're very committed to teaching all of you what you can do. That's why we provide you with a free website. Visit the New Health Conversation. Anybody can go there. It's free to go there. We won't contact you if you go there. But if you like what you see, you scroll down, you get a free coach. Who else is offering you that on social media? Could someone tell me? Is anybody offering you? I mean, I see them wanting to, oh, you can get a coach if you buy their recipes. What? What? Oh, buy our 6-month program of recipes. What? I mean, it's so silly. There's no medical proof behind it. These people that invented this, they're not some person giving you an opinion. I don't want you to believe me, so it's not my opinion. But this was developed by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the entire world. Shouldn't that impress you? This could change your life. It's not about losing weight. It's about maximizing your health potential for the rest of your life. Because again, I've maintained a 40-pound weight loss for 23 years. I lost it in 7 weeks. I showed you Michael and Sheila. They lost 60 pounds each in 5 months. They've kept it off for 2.5 years. You got anything like this, anybody? I know you don't. And here's the point. I don't want you to believe me. Yeah, I've written 4 best-selling books. I did 20 shows on public broadcasting. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America, 1,500 lectures around the world for 22 of my 23 years. You know what that meant in the medical world? 0. Why? Because there were no published, peer-reviewed human trial studies. This is our safeguard, by the way. No drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed human trial study. You'll hear people on social media say, we have a scientifically proven ingredient. It doesn't mean a damn thing. It means 0. It means nothing. It's nonsense. And yet, what are we doing? Johns Hopkins Medical School is saying, calls it, I have it right here, study predicts obesity apocalypse in 4 years. We estimate 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese. By 2048, we estimate all American adults will become overweight or obese in 23 years. What are we doing, everybody? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you believing? I don't even want you to believe me. But do you believe science? Do you want to go for free and see the medical proof? I'm going to show you the website to everybody. Look at this. Type in the new health conversation in Google. Watch what happens. There it is, the new health conversation. There's the link. Click on it. It's going to take you right to the website. Nothing to buy on that website except the medical proof, including #1 exclusive podcast with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. You'll hear him say in the podcast, they'll never recommend to a patient ever again any form of traditional diet. They did 100 studies over 40 years. How much more evidence do they need to prove to themselves that dieting, counting calories, calories in, calories out, keto, paleo, Mediterranean, all the ones they analyzed, none of them ever worked long term. Not one of them, ever. And 2/3 of the people, like all of you, 2/3 of you are going to end up weighing more than what you did when you started. I mean, here's even Medicare. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Medicare, our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. That's Medicare telling you that, everybody. But yet, most of you are so indoctrinated in nonsense. You're following, and they're nice people. I see them on social media. They're medical doctors and chiropractors and health coaches, whatever that means, and a weight loss coach and fitness trainers. They don't have one shred of medical evidence. Not one shred. None. Zero evidence that you're following. And you think somehow you're going to produce a result like that? 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days with no exercise. Instead of losing any lean muscle, she gained 6 to 9%. Again, who would like to ask me a question? We're coming up almost in an hour now, in 7 minutes. I'll go about 7, because I do need to rest my voice. It's now 5 o'clock on the East Coast. I'll probably do one more, maybe around 6 o'clock on the East Coast, in about an hour. But in the meantime, if anybody has a question, before I close this out, I'm more than happy to answer it for you. Who would it be? Anybody else want to ask me a question? No? All right. Well, I'm going to end this podcast, and like I said, I'll do another one in about an hour or so. I wish all of you a great day. Please do yourself a favor. Go to that website. We won't contact you. If you like what you see, you can get a free coach and find out for your particular need. We have kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91 years old. We have people with no thyroids. We have a guy with a heart transplant, kidney transplants. We have people with no gallbladders, and we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or preventing any medical diseases. All we're doing is making you aware of the irrefutable medical proof. It's bulletproof. It's published in the biggest medical journals in the world. It's been scrutinized by the top experts in the world, proving that it's correct, it's right, it's safe, and you all can do it if you know about it. Okay, everybody? All right, I'm going to sign off. Allie, I hope you'll go there. I hope everybody else will go to the website and see the medical proof. Thanks, everybody. I'm signing off.